Hey everyone, Kasoku here. So here is my second video. So by this time, I recorded this a couple days ago. By now, I have about 2 weeks, maybe a little less of 2 weeks of experience. I would say actually no, like good 15 days, I should say. And I've already won a couple Blitz royales, believe it or not, by now, by here. And here I'm going to try a stand to win one. So I'm going to pause it for a sec. So I just figured out by this point how believe it or not, I'm old. PlayStation 5 does record your games, and you are allowed to save them within a small amount of time. So as I learned how to do that, I decided, okay, so for my first video, what should it be? It should be me playing Blitz and try to win it twice. By this time, I think I already did that once, win 2 Blitz battles in a row. But this time I'm gonna record it. And here we go. So as I land, I like to land at the edge or the middle, it really doesn't matter. But I really want to win this, and I don't think this is my first attempt trying to win 2 in a row. So I want to be very careful, and I will be using stealth tactics in almost all my videos. That's just how I play. As I said in my first video, the big game for me, the third-person shooter, was of course The Last of Us Part 2. The Last of Us Part 2, I love that game. And maybe one day, maybe soon, I could make a little video of me playing it. What I like about Fortnite is these battles. Battle Royale is like 30 minutes to 40 the most. That's what I like about it. And because there's no story, I don't know, it's just a little easier for me to do these videos. Okay, so what I have currently is a chug. I always want to chug. And I like to have at least 2 weapons. Now, at this point in my Fortnite career, I'm actually not used to yet stealth and the jumping pads. It's just not something, I must admit, I didn't like those items initially, but for Blitz specifically, I think, and even Reload, those jumping pads, launch pads are very, very, very useful. Okay, so again, this is something that many of you guys wouldn't like, so I'll fast forward it just a bit, or at least speed it up, I should say. And maybe I should speed it up more. So yeah, I'm just waiting here looking at the map. I see a crate. Crates usually have I forget what the gun is called. I don't think I get it for this game. It's a large minigun, basically. Reminds me of Jesse Ventura in the movie Predator. He's probably the first person to do that in a movie. Just hold a minigun with his hands. Now everyone does it in action films. So I'm gonna try to speed this up even more. And okay, no, actually I want to talk about the thermal fish. I must admit, during this time I'm still experimenting with it. I don't like it. I have seen other people use it, the thermal fish. I guess if you get used to it, it makes it easier to aim from afar. But if you don't see through walls or anything like that, it's not X-ray vision. So it's just, it just doesn't hit the spot for me. So as I'm walking through, I'm trying to get away from the storm, of course, and I'm looking at the map. The circle's pretty good. I'm in the circle, and now I have a legendary weapon, a shotgun. And I still have to keep my rare rifle. But then look, pops out an auto shotgun. Now I go back and forth deciding which one I should choose. I must admit, I don't know which one's which, but because it says auto, doing the math in my head, of course, I'm like, okay, let's just do the auto shotgun. So like I make a run for it. I have my chug with me. Someone's shooting at me. I don't even know which direction. And in front of me, there's someone shooting at me. I haven't killed anyone yet. But look, I'm already in the top 6. So I hide behind these rocks. Allow me to go normal speed. And I'm gonna back up a bit because I want you guys to see. So I rewind it because I want to show you there's an individual right over there, as you can see, that I'm shooting back, they're shooting at me. I get someone else is probably shooting at me. So I decided to just make a run for it. Sometimes it's better to run for fights. Sometimes no. Sometimes you have people that know how to aim. But I am a little lucky because, as you can see, I get behind him, I take him out, just a bit epic. So I was a little lucky there. I assumed that was a good player. And I'm using my rifle. I take them out. I believe, oh, and just like that, I won. I took out 2 players, I believe. I don't think they were NPCs. And I want to show you, before I show you the final person to get killed, as you see me jumping and not celebrating, I'm sure some of you guys had this. I don't remember what day this was. This was a couple days ago. But the emotes weren't working. I wasn't happy. I paid for these South Park emotes. I want to be able to use them. So I'm going to slow this down a bit. So I killed, that was my first kill. And look, already just 2 opponents left. I know, my aim is terrible. So I get to reload. I'm using the rock to protect me. There, they would hit the body. The Flopper King is done. But then where's the other opponent? So, over here. So, if you guys can see, it looks like a Superman cape. And his body's gonna explode. Must have been an NPC. If he wasn't moving, it was probably an NPC. And just like that. Here's like, so sometimes these NPCs, they fight through. They can be top 5, top 3, top 2. And yes, I have seen NPCs win. And I must admit, even I've been killed off by NPCs. So when you do Blitz, my understanding is about 8 real players and the rest are NPCs. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's not true. I've seen a lot of good players on Blitz. I know some people don't like Blitz. That's okay. But I think Blitz is very, very fun. And we'll take a look at the match stats. The slow-mo was a little weird. Let's hope I have the match stats. Sometimes I will forget to look at the match stats and just not be able to comment on them. But here we go. So eliminations, 2 eliminations. I guess that was, if I'm not mistaken, that was 3rd and 4th place I eliminated. 2nd place was an NPC. Accuracy 25. My understanding 25 isn't too bad. I don't know. That's what I hear. Damage to players 342. That's equivalent to about 2 players, maybe 1.5 players. 100 health, 100 shield. Distance traveled, I don't really care about this one too much. 454 meters. Damage taken 10, not very little. That one-on-one I had with in a final shootout, he just didn't hit me. Barely hit me. 19 hits, damage to structure 180. Obviously, my placing is high. First player to search an ammo box, and first player to search for a chest. Awesome. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so I'm using the random generator for the outfits. So now, first I had Stan, now I have Kyle, or as Cartman calls him, Kiao, something like that. I have 5 seconds to prepare. Okay, so then here I am, back in the island. Haven't decided where to jump, but I decided to jump there in the middle, stay in the middle. I didn't record it, but recently I was in the middle of one of those houses in the middle of the island, and there was so much action. I've never seen. It was like I think like almost like 20 players in a small area. and I got killed off. That wasn't cool. Um, so I didn't record it. For now, I'm not gonna show you guys matches that I lose. But maybe at some point, if there's a really interesting thing that happened, I'll show it. Um, so here here I'm really taking it seriously. I don't want to lose. I want to post a video on YouTube. Let me win 2 in a row. I decide not to open that door. So let me make my own little door, and I'm just waiting it out. And I see someone up there. The little fence is in the way, and I killed him off. This was an NPC, so I was a little lucky. And all of a sudden, I'm in a storm. But there's a chug. And because it's early in the game, I know that the chug will keep me alive. I was just looking to see if there's anything else around there, but no. And I now have 2 pistols at least. I always like to have 2 so I can switch back. But ideally, I want a rifle and something close to mid-range. So I'm using my chug, and I'm going to open this more rare chest. And I have a better revolver, an epic revolver. And I didn't take the stealth splash because still I don't see the benefit of stealth yet. Eventually I'll start using it, and now I'll probably always use it. So I'm just gonna make a run for it. Because it's the early stages, the storm takes 1 health per second. But now since it stopped, it moves up to 2 health per second, if you noticed. Okay, so I decided to go into buildings. That's what I like to do, go into buildings, kind of hide a bit. I have to be careful. I sense someone. I go to this corner just in case. I decide to go downstairs. And someone is coming. I hear someone. Hear someone. So that's why I'm crawling. And then there, someone jumped over me. I am so missing. This has to be a real player. Done. So that was the epic pistol, epic revolver, and I have taken. Usually I prefer something better than a pistol, but I can make do with this. It seems like someone shot at me, but I didn't see anyone. I'm just waiting here. I noticed there's only 8 opponents left, so let them kill each other. I have no problem with that. Let them take each other out. So I'm kind of running around the storm, something I do. I try to look for places to hide with a building or a rock. Just keep going and going. I know there's a lot of people around. Let me just move around. Don't stay still. There's a rift. I don't like taking rifts, especially as it starts to shrink. You gotta be careful. Players will kill you off. I've done that. I have taken players like that. Then there's someone in front of me. That was an NPC. Someone's in front of me and I don't notice until now. Then I see her. This has to be a real player that she's fighting. And she's gone. And no, it's an anonymous. It was just a really good anonymous. So I'm a little lucky. Those are 2 anonymous. Okay, then I noticed it's a 3 battles. It's a trio battle right here. I take her out just for the heck of it. Then I take her. And I usually don't do this. I usually wait. But boom. Then I take out 2nd place. And I don't have my emotes. How upsetting. And here are my stats. So this is the best eliminations, amount of eliminations I've had. That I've had in Blitz. If I've had more, then I'll record it. Whether it's a one-time match. So 70 eliminations. I never even had six before. First time with six eliminations in a match. Um, Obviously had a hat trick. So as you just saw, three eliminations a short distance. So at least I did that. Though I usually like to wait. 500 pistol damage in a match. Obviously in placement, um, I was number one. Um, two eliminations in short duration. Of course, I've done that before. Um, three eliminations in a match, of course, and final, and that should be it. Accuracy was 26%, not too bad. Damage to players, I did a lot of damage. That's how I got to seven eliminations. 1,000. That's 1,000 is equivalent to five players, I guess. But I have seven. Distance traveled 859. Damage taken 236. Hits 110. Damage to structures 827. I've done a lot of, even by this point, I've done a lot of accolades. I don't know if I'm gonna have any more accolades after this. One day I'll do a research on what I haven't done yet left, and I'll try to challenge myself doing them. And that is it. That is it for this video. Um, Other than the fact that I do want to look back at that three opponents left. Let's take a quick look at it. So I eliminated this first person just because why not? You know, that's what I thought. Did these two duke it out? Let me just take one out and focus on the other two. So that was anonymous. So that was an NPC. And then that was most likely not. And I don't know if this guy was anonymous or not. It was impossible for me to tell. I wish do they tell you, maybe you guys could comment on that. Do they tell you when you eliminate the last opponent? Is it mentioned somewhere usually or not? My experience, it doesn't. Okay, here we go. And stay tuned for the next video. This is Kasoku.